Welcome to the craft room. I finished my first official knitting project, Sophie scarf. Isn't it just so lovely? I'm so excited. So this was my first legit knitting project. I made baby booties, but it was so easy. So I didn't really consider it a real project, and it took me maybe an hour. So this was my first actual project. And in the middle of doing this project, I went to a class at Handwork in Salt Lake. Basically, it was a class where you learned common mistakes and how to fix them. So I had asked her about some things on my project just for feedback, and so I kind of know what things went wrong. So let's talk about it. So the first thing I did, I accidentally did an increase on the flat side instead of the other side. My tension changed a lot. So one side is longer than the other. Now, you're not going to be able to tell when I wear it, so I'm not that cut up about it. There are a couple places where I wasn't dropping stitches, but it looked like a drop stitch because basically what happened was I crossed the stitch over without actually knitting it. And there was a place where I am pretty sure I did drop a stitch. I tried to ladder down and fix it. It does not look good. I don't know what I did wrong, so I need to go back in and ask for feedback. And I also just felt like where my increases and decreases were looks kind of janky. So I asked her, and she said that the increase stitch that's suggested in the pattern is a really ugly increase and decrease. So she suggested I try a different one. So I did start another Sophie scarf. And I do feel like already I am noticing a difference on the increase decrease side. You can see little, can you see the stitch where I do increase it? I'm really not bothered by being able to see that. It is getting a little curved toward that side, but it's nothing blocking. Can't get out. So what I want to do with you today is block this project together. I also do have 2 swatches. One of them I still need to finish, but I want to make a sweater and I want to make mitten. So I do have 2 swatches that I also need to block. So I got some blocking mats, and I was looking at sets, and a lot of them, there were a lot of blocking mats for like 45 bucks. It's like, I don't think I need that many. Maybe my quality isn't as good, but it's gonna do the job just fine. So I think I spent $15, $17 on this. Got a good amount of blocking mats. Honestly, it's gonna get me enough that I can even do a sweater on this, so I feel like it's gonna be just great. I'm not going to use wool cleaner yet. I have people saying that you can also use shampoo because wool is just hair. So I might use shampoo, but I don't really feel the need to wash this yet. I probably will do it next time I wash it though. But overall, I'm pretty happy. Honestly, I made myself keep the mistakes in the second half that I made instead of frogging and undoing them, because part of what I want to accomplish with knitting is embracing imperfections and kind of challenging the perfectionism that lives in my brain. So, and honestly, when I wear it, you're not even going to be able to tell. So it's going to be fine. I am hoping, hopefully this doesn't cover my mic too much, but I am hoping that it gets a bit longer when I block it. So I might not super aggressively block it, but I might stretch it out a slight bit. And if I don't like it, how it turns out, I can adapt the pattern to just add more rows, which is no big deal. But overall, I am actually really happy with this for a beginner project. You just need to know knit stitches, increase and decrease, and then you do slide, I can't remember what it's called. You do slide some of your stitches purlwise, so basically you just pull the string purlwise and then just slide them over to create the I-cord edge. Overall, it actually felt like a very simple pattern, so I am really happy with this. Since my swatches weren't done, I did start another Sophie scarf because I just can't not knit now. And I had therapy yesterday, and I love to knit during therapy. So very happy with this. My second Sophie scarf is going so much faster now that I really know what I'm doing. Overall, looking a lot better. I don't know if I super love the color. I might give it to somebody, but I'm just fine with that. I am more invested in knitting for the process of knitting and not the outcome. It's great that I'm making things for myself, but I just am really enjoying the knitting itself. So next up on my list, I had wanted to make another petite knit pattern that I bought. It is the Maggie cardigan. However, I was feeling a little bit intimidated about this, so I asked my knitting godmother, Jamie, for some feedback, and she told me about the New Wave Knitting Staple Sweater. Basically, what this pattern does is you can put it into Adobe Reader and you input your measurements, how big your swatch was, and then it shoots out the knitting pattern based off those things so you can't get it wrong. That feels like a really soft place to land for my first sweater. She also does have quite a few other projects that work the same way. She has a knitted tee that I'm actually really hoping to make. And I believe she has socks, mittens, a hat, and maybe something else, but super incredible. I don't know why more people don't do this, and I feel like it's something I'm going to use a lot. Specifically, I loved that you could pick how long you wanted your sweater to be. I feel like you can even see with what I'm wearing, because of how my hips are and my booty's kind of big, I've even thought about blocking the sweater. If there is ribbing that goes too far, it looks really weird. And so I was able to pick a length of sweater that I feel really happy with. And so I was really excited about that I don't have to alter the pattern at all. It's done for me, which is fantastic. I also was put onto Tin Can Knits, which is basically, they have a bunch of free patterns to kind of help you learn knitting techniques and stuff. And so I'm hoping to make their mittens. And so I'm doing a swatch for those. I was gonna start with socks, but I don't know why. The mittens felt a little bit easier to me. But if I look over it and it seems too complicated, I might do the New Wave knitting mittens. I'm just going on a road trip this weekend, and I am not the responsible adult. I'm not the one driving, so I basically just get a knit for 48 hours. So I'm really wanting to make sure that I bring enough projects with me. So for sure I'm bringing my Sophie scarf, depending on how much I get done. I'm gonna bring it regardless, but we'll see if I need to bring 3 projects or 2 based off how much I get done with my Sophie scarf. And looking at it, I do think that I should be able to bring the sweater. Mostly what I'm concerned about is how long of circular needles that I have, but I should be just fine actually. Okay, I should be fine because it's looking like the first things you work on, my needles are perfectly long enough for this. So this is gonna be great. I'm probably gonna bring this. I'm hoping to work on the neck and the collar at least. It's a folded collar, so I'm really excited. It looks like there are video tutorials to go along with this as well. It looks like a very thorough pattern. So I'm really excited about this, and really, I can't wait. So let's get to blocking. I did forget to mention, I am hoping to include some color work in this sweater. I'm thinking just stripes, and I am looking at the method of alternating colors where you don't have to weave in ends. So I'm for sure gonna have to look at some YouTube videos first, but let me show you the colors I'm thinking. So I have a ball left from the first Sophie scarf I made, and then I got this one in the same. I just feel like those look really pretty. So these are the Majo Fine Merino. They're DK gauge. I'm still learning about the terminology in terms of that. But this color is denim, and this color is... All right, I don't know where my label for this one went, but either way, really cute color. I am just feeling thrilled about it, so I am thinking of doing some color work. Just stripes, that feels really simple, and a way to introduce myself to color work that's not super complicated. I did get both of these at Handwork, so I can't imagine I'm going to use more than these 2 balls, especially if I bring another project with me. So I'm not feeling super concerned about needing more. I know I'm going to need more eventually, but as of right now, this is what we're working with. I'm really having so much fun. Life's really been doing me one right now. And so I have found that I go for a walk to work out my thoughts. My friend Jamie did tell me how much knitting helped with her anxiety. And of course I believed her, but to feel it on myself that like I sit down and knit and my brain just feels peaceful. It's so lovely. And my great grandma was a huge knitter. So it does just feel like carrying on her legacy, which is so lovely. And just, I love her. So this has just been so fun. So I encourage knitting. Honestly, I wish that I also loved crochet because I've heard same things about crochet. It just hasn't stuck like it has with knitting. I just feel like the way I've been learning, at least, my brain is just soaking it up. So I'm just feeling really excited about all this. It's lamp clock, so It's gonna be really cozy doing this. I did end up finishing my second swatch, but I do still have this first one that I can look at. Honestly, I think it's gonna be too small because I needed like 1/2 inch to come out of blocking. Don't think that's gonna happen. So I'm probably honestly just gonna make another Sophie scarf on my road trip. It's really only 48 hours, so I shouldn't need too much. We'll see how much of the Sophie scarf that I'm working on right now I get done, but honestly, I think I can be content with that. I'll take an extra ball of yarn just in case to start another Sophie scarf or something else that I can find that's really easy and can be done with the needle size that I'm bringing, but we're gonna block. As I said before, I'm not using any wool cleaner. I read to do lukewarm water, so we've got a clean sink, a towel laying out, so let's get blocking. Has been about 24 hours. I read online that as long as it's dry, you can take it up. So I could have taken it up this morning, but I decided to wait. So first of all, my swatch. So it is wide enough, but it is not tall enough. So that means I am still gonna go up in needle size. And my knitting godmother said it should all even out, but it does look very good now that it's nice and flat. So I am going to unravel this yarn, use it for later, but we're gonna pull up this and see what we're working with. All right, she's done. Now we test how long she is. Okay, it's about to my belly button, which is actually really where I hoped it would be. And I didn't even block that aggressively, so I'm really happy. I also feel like it just looks really nice and even. I'm in love. Okay, I'm definitely packing this for the Tetons this weekend, and I didn't get super far into my other Sophie scarf that I'm making, so it's gonna give me a lot to do on this trip. I also am going to, because I only need to go up a needle size, I do have the needle for that. So I am going to make the Maggie cardigan, I believe it is, from Petit Knits. My needle isn't super long though, as long as I need it to be, my circular needle. So I am going to focus on the Sophie scarf first, and then hopefully I can do at least a little bit of the Maggie cardigan and then work on it a lot next week. But if you're scared of blocking, you shouldn't be, because that really wasn't that hard and I'm in love. So thanks for joining me. I truly love these videos with you. So see you later.